Basically, tough loss tonight. Guess I'll start with there were a couple of plays where there were some unforced turnovers, kind of some miscommunication. Can you kind of just discuss that?
I think it was times where we got a little sped up. Times where we just weren't connected. But us just all getting back on the court together, understanding our spots, everyone's spots where we like to play. So kind of working through that, but also just we gotta lock in and just be a little bit more focused on the little things, handling the physicality, and still being able to play our basketball.
You guys limited Kelsey Mitchell to 8 points tonight, but you allowed 107 points to the Fever. What do you think was missing on the defensive end?
I think it's just a sense of urgency. I think you saw in that last like maybe 2 minutes, a minute and a half, like you saw our sense of urgency kind of get up there, defensive pressure flying around. I think that's us. And we are supposed to be hanging our hats on the defensive end, so we don't want to give up 100 points. So just back to the drawing board and back to trusting each other, trusting what's behind you, and just sticking to our defensive principles.
I spoke to coach a few times earlier today. Kind of asked him what his expectations were from the Fever crowd about Luana Bonner coming back for the first time. How do you think she handled playing in front of this crowd, and what was it like kind of being behind her for this game?
I think she handled it well. I mean, I don't understand, like she a legend and just all the things that she's done for the league. Um, and just the disrespect, I can't get down with it. They booed her. She didn't say a word to the crowd. Um, People talk some trash to her, but we had her back. But it's just very distasteful for what their fan base is doing. As far as when it comes to DB, because it's just like she's just the sweetest soul. And the situation didn't work for her, and that's just not what she wanted or whatever. But it's just we don't need all of that. It's just unnecessary. That's
Did you talk to her during the game? I guess just try and pick her spirits up, or is that something you guys really?
no, we weren't really worried. We just was just like whatever. Like I mean, some people said some things, but it just was like whatever. Like we did it all night, so it was like just not something that we wanted to give our energy to. But she handled it well. Yeah, she handled it well.
When you face people were saying they just fans in the stands,
I
or
mean, fans. I mean, they booed her. Some people said some stuff about her leaving. Just yelling. Just yeah.
were there any positives you can take away from the atmosphere in this arena and how that compares to the rest of the leagues?
Uh, Someone had a sign that said DB with a crown over top of it. That was the best thing about it.
Any questions for Sam?
Yeah, I have a question. I'll double back to my earlier question. There were a couple plays, a couple of turnovers where they seemed to force kind of miscommunication. Can you kind of discuss that and like what kind of goes behind those unforced errors?
In general, or
Yeah,
did you
in
mean
general.
a couple of particular ones?
Maybe in the third quarter, I believe there were like, or no, excuse me, the second quarter there were about six turnovers, seven turnovers in that quarter alone. Just a lot of unforced errors, passes, going straight out of bounds, just kind of the miscommunication there.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's different defensive coverages and just a miscommunication, like you said, or a miscue. If someone thinks someone's cutting, maybe they're not, or whatever it is. I think for us, we talked about slowing down, not letting them rush us or force us into anything we don't want to do. Being a little bit more intentional with getting open and all of that stuff. Without knowing exactly what you mean, that's kind of all I could put out. Yeah.
38 free throw attempts for them, I guess. Just I'm just asking, well, just how does that happen? Is it just like sloppiness in the defensive end? Is he getting tired and then kind of trying to compensate? How does the team get to line it?
I mean, there's undoubtedly ones that we would want back where we did just stick our hand in. I think if you watch the game though, there were some that we don't know. We're not sure why it's one end and not the other in terms of just where the physicality was being loud and not. That's probably the struggle. I thought we set the tone early being physical and then the whistle sort of changed. So that's on us to make those adjustments when that happens. But yeah, I think outside of a few where it was really obvious and we stuck our hand and actually thought there were times we played fantastic defense and there's a whistle at the end of it and you can't do anything about that.
Jesse on Zoom. This can be for either of you, but you have lost 4 of your last 5 games. Are there any trends that you're kind of noticing over this stretch that's kind of led to the 4 of 5 losses?
Yeah, defense. We're giving up more points than we were before. And so that's got to be an area of focus for us.
Aya?
Hey guys, it's good to see you. Tough loss tonight. I'm just curious to know, how do you guys look into getting back into consistency on the defensive end, especially allowing the Fever to get into the free throw line and especially the turnovers?
Yeah, I mean, we'll watch film, but a lot of it is it's going to be a gut check for a lot of us. We know we have to look in the mirror and like give more. We got to pour into each other more. We got to figure it out. It's on us, the players that get on the floor, and we know we're capable of it. We saw it that second half of that DC game. We know exactly what it feels like, what it looks like. It's something we've got to commit to every single night with each other, no matter the minutes, the rotation, any of it. There's no excuse for it. And so I know that we'll do that for this next part of the road trip.
Last question, David.
Hi, for both of you, from a rhythm perspective, when the officials are calling the game like they are calling it, how does that kind of limit what you guys are able to do?
Yeah, I mean, you saw it, I guess. They get to the free throw line, and a big part of our game is getting the rebound and running. And if we have to take the ball out or we're constantly being called for fouls, that definitely limits the way that we want to play for sure.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.